The thing is, when it comes to medical courier jobs, you need to really have a clear idea about the best way to really find the best jobs, the most profitable jobs in your area. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So first of all, when we talk about medical courier jobs near you, you got to be in a specific sort of mindset to sort of find them. Okay, and it's not just about you actually driving from point A to point B. It's also you thinking about, do you have the right equipment? Do you have the right car, the right vehicle? Do you have the right supplies? And do you have the right qualification? Because some medical items, if you will, they require you to have some qualifications. I mean, gone are the days, boss, when you actually just have to drive your car and just pick up an item from pharmacy A and just deliver this to nursing home B. Nowadays, you have more, like you have apps, you have more configurations in the medical landscape that require regulators at the federal level to require more requirements. I mean, to require more conditions, if you will. Okay, so we're talking about what you trying to understand that qualifications will matter, especially when it comes to OSHA regulations, and you also have to think about the fact that basically it's not just about the car anymore. It's about you cultivating a relationship with those shippers. I'm talking about pharmacies. I'm talking about nursing homes. I'm talking about hospitals. I'm talking about all kinds of players in the field. They are going to make you like help you make money over the long run, but it takes a relationship. You can't just have the mindset of you going on an app and really just downloading a few gigs and make money. You got to think in terms of long term and building a relationship with all those players. And but the good thing is, once you actually have the relationship, you can work for all kinds of players. You can work for healthcare facilities, you can work for labs, you can work for medical offices, you can actually work for pharmacies, and so on and so forth. Basically, what you're doing is you are helping them function smoothly and efficiently. So if you're looking for a medical courier jobs near you, to find them, you first need to build a relationship. That everything starts from there. Once you have the relationship, the whole conversation will flow from there. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. The first thing you want to do here, I want to share with you the steps you need to take to actually find medical courier jobs near you. You need to research the requirements and qualifications for medical courier jobs. As I said before, gone are the days. This was yesterday, where you just drive a car and then just pick up an item at pharmacy A and deliver a nursing home B. Nowadays, you got to think about the qualifications for what kind of medical courier jobs that we have. Okay, now as a gig worker, you don't need to have a PhD in medicine to actually drive like to actually have a medical courier job, but you need to have a basic sort of you need to meet basic requirements. Okay, now the thing is that when we talk about you need to understand that different employers have different expectations and criteria for hiring medical couriers. Okay, again, we're speaking about medical couriers in-house and also outside. In other words, you are an independent contractor. Okay, and so some of the common requirements that we have seen in our research include, they want you to have a valid driver's license and a clean driving record. So you don't need to have some kind of CDL. No, CDL is not needed, but you got to have a valid driver's license and a clean driving records. You got to have a reliable vehicle that can transport medical items safely and securely, and especially when it comes to the regulations that the federal and state authorities have put in place. You got to have some knowledge of medical terms and regulations. Again, I'm not asking you to have a PhD in medicine, but you got to understand a little bit about the things you're transporting. This is important. You got to have the ability to work independently and as part of a team if needed. You need to have the ability to meet deadlines and follow instructions. Following instructions is so critical, boss. I mean, because the thing is that if you have to really get the job done and you are part of a team or you're part of a project, you need to actually do your part of your part of the process. Otherwise, there will be bottlenecks. You got to have a clean criminal record, and you got to also pass a drug test. And this is so important. And also, you got to have a high school diploma or equivalent. Also, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about medical courier jobs near you, how to find them. the second thing you need to do here is to update your resume and cover letter. I mean, the thing is that a lot of folks are thinking, hey, listen, yeah, I don't need to have a resume to actually have a medical courier, to be a medical courier. Well, listen, you'll be really surprised, because if you want to locate medical courier positions nearby, you need to update your resume and cover letter. Again, I'm not asking you to work for a company in-house. You can still, as an independent contractor, you can still compete by actually updating your resume, okay, and cover letter. So your resume and cover letter are your first impressions to potential employers. So you must make sure they are professional. I'm talking about your resume and cover letter. They are professional, they are concise, and they are relevant. Relevance is really important, because the job you're applying for, the employer must actually know that, okay, you have some experience handling that kind of jobs, okay? So you want to highlight your skills, your experience, and achievements that match the job description, and show why you are a suitable candidate for the position, or why you are a suitable gig worker for the position. Again, I'm talking to you about being an in-house driver or an external driver, okay, a gig worker, if you will. And so you can also maintain your availability. You can also mention your salary expectations, and you can also indicate your references if applicable. If you want people to vouch for you, this is not a problem. Okay, so this is kind of cool. But the thing is that what I'm telling you here is applicable to whether you apply for a medical courier job on drop off, or whether you are applying for a job with Walgreens or other players in the field. It's all about having the relationship, right? It's all about maintaining the relationship and cultivating the relationship over time. Another thing I want to say, when we talk about updating your resume and cover letter, you just make sure that the dates match, because you don't have to work for a medical courier company to get a job. You got to have certain skills, and most important, the skill of teamwork, and also reliability in terms of you meeting deadlines. The third thing you want to do here is to search for medical courier jobs near you. Okay, and so basically, we are talking about you using various methods to find medical courier jobs near you. Obviously, you can go through the app. So you have apps such as Drop-Off that gives you the ability to find medical career jobs, but those jobs are usually not paid well, because you have a lot of folks competing with the same sort of gigs. If you want to make more money, you have to actually look for a job that actually is not that competitive. So you can do it online, offline, or through your own networking. Let me break it down for you. So when we talk about online, you can use online job portals such as Indeed or Glassdoor to search for medical courier jobs in your nearby areas. You can filter your search by location, salary, type, and more. You can also set up alerts to receive notifications when new jobs are available, and those jobs are available all the time, because the medical courier job industry is booming. Okay, so online, not a problem. What about offline? Well, you can look for medical courier jobs in local newspapers, magazines, or bulletin boards. You can also visit or call healthcare facilities, labs, or medical offices near you and ask if they are hiring or need any medical couriers. It's all about proposing your services anyway. I mean, if you do it properly, if you do it with politeness, you will land a job anyway. So you can also find work through networking. You can use your personal or professional contacts to find out about medical courier jobs near you. You can ask your friends, family, colleagues, or acquaintances if they know anyone who works as a medical courier or who's looking for one. You can also join online or offline groups. This is really, you can go to forums, Reddit's being one of them, or you can look for associations related to medical couriering or healthcare, and connect with other people who share your interest. It's all about networking. I mean, for real, you got to really be serious about networking and really talk to folks who are already in the same field as you. Whilst I want to quickly remind you of today's topic, we are having a conversation about the medical courier jobs near you and how do you find them. Next, you want to apply for medical courier jobs that interest you. Now, it's not just you have a lot of ways to reach out to those employers. Again, I'm talking about you reaching out via phone call. By the way, you can actually have a solicitation. You can drive to the facility. So with your vehicle, with yourself, please be presentable. Okay, it's all about being presentable. You can actually call. You can actually drive there, or you can write a letter. You can actually drop your resume and cover letter and expect somebody to call you. And but again, what I'm telling you here is not just about you going on a gig such as drop off and really applying for a few, like grabbing a few jobs here and there. No, it's something about the long term. So to identify medical career jobs prospects close to you, you need to actually apply for those that are really there. You want to apply for those jobs that interest you. So once you have found some medical career jobs that interest you, you just want to apply. You want to follow the instructions that the employer is given. Now, instructions are really important because when we talk about healthcare in general, you have to understand that companies, they have to abide by some specific rules and regulations and what have you. So they want you to make sure that you are following the same sort of the same regulations or the same instructions. Okay, and so you may need to fill out an online application form, upload your resume. In some cases, you may need to actually upload also your cover letter. Again, it depends upon the requirements of the job. And you may need to also send out an email with your documents attached. So you always want to follow instructions that the employer has given. Follow the guidelines carefully and submit your application before the deadline. Now, the bottom line is that sometimes you can actually follow up with a phone call. You never know, and you can talk to someone. You can even talk to the person who is even hiring, so that you have a clear idea of how to really get the job at the end of the day. Again, what I'm telling you here, it doesn't matter whether you are applying for an in-house job or an external job. You still need to cultivate the level of relationship that I'm just talking about here to be able to land your job and keep that job in the long run. The next thing you want to do here is that you want to prepare for the interview. So basically, the interview is kind of important. Again, I'm not asking you to have a PhD in medicine, whatever. If your potential employer selects you for an interview, you need to prepare yourself to impress the employer and show him or her why you are the best person for the job, right? So and there are several ways to actually do this, and this is not complicated at all. Basically, you want to research the employer. You want to learn as much as you can about the employer, such as the person's mission, vision, values, goals, services, clients, etc. This can help you understand what your employer is looking for and how you can actually fit into the organization. Again, either as an owner-operator or as an in-house driver. And so you can practice common questions, anticipate some of the common questions that the employer may ask you during the interview, such as, tell me about yourself. Okay, why do you want to work as a medical courier? What skills and experience do you have that make you a good medical courier? How do you handle stress, pressure, or emergencies, for instance? How do you ensure safety and hygiene when transporting medical items? How do you deal with difficult customers or situations? How do you balance speed and accuracy when delivering or picking up medical items? How do you keep records for your deliveries and pickups? How do you use technology and tools to assist your work? How do you cope with working alone or as a part of a team? And what are your strengths and weaknesses as a medical courier? And what are your salary expectations? So you can see that the granularity of these questions is pretty impressive. But again, you got to prepare yourself so that when you have an employer that's very detailed, you have the ability to answer questions right away. So you want to prepare questions for the employer. You can also prepare some questions that you want to ask the employer during the interview, such as, what are the typical duties and responsibilities of a medical courier in your organization? What are the working hours and conditions of a medical courier in your organization? What are the benefits and opportunities for the growth and development of a medical courier in your organization? This is kind of important. And how do you measure the performance and feedback of a medical courier in your organization? What are the challenges or difficulties that a medical courier may face in your organization? So this shows interest in how do you support and train new medical courier medical courier in your organization. So you have the ability to actually impress the employer there. It's all about showing interest. It's all about showing responsibility. It's all about showing accountability. And you also want to dress appropriately. So ensure you dress professionally and appropriately for the interview according to the dress code and culture of the employer. You can also bring any documents or items that the employer may require, such as your driver's license, vehicle registration, insurance, etc. Okay. And then you want to follow up after the interview. So if everything goes fine, they will call you, they will contact you, and sometimes it takes time. It's not about just you actually getting a call right away. But don't forget, you always want to send a thank you note to the employer, expressing your appreciation for the opportunity and your interest in the position. Right. So again, it's very important to be professional all the way through. Also, you want to restate your qualifications and skills, and you want to highlight why you are a good fit for the job. Ask about the next steps in the hiring process and when you can expect to hear back from them. You can also keep in touch with the employer until you receive a final decision. So again, it's not about just you are going to go into an interview and just forget about the interview. It's all you actually following through to make sure that you are aware of what they are asking for. Because again, if they interviewed you in the first place, that's because they're interested. Okay, they're interested. Otherwise, they wouldn't interview you. And it's one of those things where you want to make sure that you are basically capable of doing the right thing at the right time, and also under the right circumstances. And also, one thing I want to say also is that you have to have the ability to know exactly what works and what doesn't work. And sometimes certain things may work, and some things may not work. The bottom line here is that you have to have the ability to know exactly what works and what doesn't work. One thing I want to say here also is that at the end of the day, you want to apply for multiple jobs. And if you actually follow all the steps that I gave you into this conversation, chances are they are going to call you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. And that's all you need anyway. Even if you have one, that's all you need anyway. Because at the end of the day, it's a contest, and you have to really bring your best outfit, if you will, your best demeanor, and actually get the job done. And that's all you care about anyway. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Let's do a quick recap of today's conversation. So I was giving you an overview here, and I give you the steps you need to follow to get the medical courier job near you. So research the requirements and qualifications, update your resume and cover letter, search for medical courier jobs near you, apply for medical courier jobs that interest you, prepare for the interview, follow up after the interview, and you should be good to go. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.